Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, and if it was blurry there at the beginning, it's because this freaking YouTube capture, like as soon as I tilt my phone to film, it like starts recording. So I don't have any time to be like, hi, so I have to fake it real quick, like that. So anyway, I'm doing Q&A today, and sorry, I'm going to adjust this a little bit. If anybody's watching this and you have ways to help me with YouTube capture, makes my life difficult. So I had my bridal shower this weekend, and it was so much fun, and all of my people were coming in town to spend time, and we had a really good time, and it was nice, because you know how, I don't know if anybody else has heard this phrase, but you don't get to pick your family, but when you get older and you pick your friends, it's like they're your family that you've chosen, you know, to be around you. So my whole family was in town, so it was nice. And I have a couple questions. I'm looking over here because I have my laptop up with the questions that I've received. And today I'm going to do, obviously, I usually do Tumblr, and I definitely have Tumblr up. And a lot of the things I'm taking off of Discuss, which is part of Tumblr, as well as my email that I get sometimes from some of you from info@Kati Morton. I don't always respond, but some of them I have, and I'm going to answer their questions. So to start it off, I've had lots of questions about getting an appointment with me, and whether you live in the area or you want to do Skype sessions, and I'm currently not taking new clients, mainly because, first of all, I'm very busy, and also I'm getting married in like a month, and so it's been a crazy time. So I don't really have any time, and my apologies, and if I ever have availability, I will always let you guys know. And as far as Skype sessions go, they kind of fall under the same thing. I'm not sure if I can legally do it. I'm kind of waiting to take my licensing exam, and I'd rather get all that stuff settled before I start branching out and asking questions, okay? So don't worry, I will keep you posted if anything changes. Now, I've heard from some people, where are the bracelets? Because I now have my new shop. Bracelets are still there. They're on KatiMorton.com. They just have their own tab, because if you've noticed, the shop isn't, like, Liz isn't making our t-shirts, and I'm not making the t-shirts, and I'm not sending them out. It's going through like a third party. So when you go onto that site, yes, I've created the, I've used my little tree, and I put that all over my logo kind of on things, but it's not, the t-shirts I don't own, and I'm not shipping them. As much as I'd love to, that would be a lot. So, but the bracelets are still there, and I do ship them, and I do have them. Okay, now on to the other questions. How to tell your parents, and also another question I had of the same, but when you're at a healthy weight. And it depends. A lot of the questions I get are, I need to get help, and I'm under 18, and I don't know how to, and I don't know if I want to tell my parents. And there are two options. One, we don't really tell them that we have an eating disorder or self-harm yet. We wait until we have a therapist, and then a lot of times I'll bring my clients' parents in for a session, and then we'll start talking about it. So it's like safer, and it's a more controlled environment, okay? So that's one option, is that you don't tell them right away. And by doing that, I would say something like, you know, Mom, I've just been feeling really down in the dumps lately, and I wondered if you'd be open to me seeing a therapist. I'd really like to see someone. Or, I've been feeling really anxious and school's getting really hard. Do you think I could maybe see someone just so I have someone to talk to? Those are kind of ideas to get the conversation started, because we don't have to say, you know, sometimes I find myself purging after I eat. You know, sometimes that's too much. And once you see a therapist, it can feel better, and you can have a safe place to talk about it. So those are a couple of the options. And regardless of whether we're at a healthy weight, or we're underweight, or we're overweight, or whatever, have them watch my video on that, on the overweight. And also, I think the same thing applies, that we still need to get help. And I promise you, people will take you seriously. Especially because the DSM now includes binge eating disorder as an ED, as a diagnosed eating disorder. So we know how prevalent it is. I mean, we know, and people will catch on. So don't feel like you won't be taken seriously if you do ask for help, okay? And I do have a video about overweight and having an eating disorder, and what do we do with that. So check out my channel. And that's why you subscribe to my channel, because when I put these videos out, then you'll get notified. And you can also scroll through. I have a lot of videos, so I know that's a lot, but you can probably search in my channel for that one. Oh, and this is another good question. Should we count calories and weigh ourselves, or ban it? And I never ban anything, you know, process not perfection, and so I wouldn't say we'd ban it, but it would be what I would consider an eating disorder behavior, and I would probably try to distract and put it off. And it would be just the same as me putting off self-harming, me putting off listening to those negative depression voices, or listening to the eating disorder voice. Like, you just want to keep putting it off and putting it off, and do as much as you can to distract in the meantime. Okay? This is another great question. What to expect at my last therapy appointment? Because we talk about what to expect at your first, but if you're terminating, what do you expect? And everybody's different, obviously. I'm just giving you my opinion based on my education and my experience. But usually it's a buildup. Like, if I know I have a client who I'm seeing and she's going to move to college, or she's doing better and she doesn't need therapy anymore. Who knows? There's a whole slew of things, right? It's usually a buildup where we talk about what we've done and what we've accomplished. And a lot of times I'll have her bring in like her workbook or a journal or whatever we've been working on together, and we'll kind of go through that and reflect back. It can feel really good. Even for some of you who vlog, I know a lot of you vlog, it can be cool to look back and see how far you've come. So those are things that I'll do, is to look back and talk about that, and we'll talk about how we go about if they want more sessions later and what that means and how they feel about it. And it'll probably, for me, it's like a 3 to 5, depending on how long I've been seeing them, it's about 3 to 5 sessions worth of a slow, what we call termination in the therapy world. And that doesn't mean I can't see you anymore, we're terminating, blah, blah, blah. But it really just means that we're slowly titrating down, and I want you to feel good, and I want to feel good about what's happened, so you know how far you've come and you know where you're going. So it'll be a little bit of like future planning and what to do if we want another session or if we feel like we're relapsing, and then what we've worked on so far. So I hope that helps. Let me know. Give your tips and tricks and kind of what your experience was with, sorry, I was stuttering there. What your experience was with terminating therapy, the good, the bad, the ugly, so we all kind of know what to expect, okay? And the last one there's two. So I've been getting a lot of comments on Tumblr, and I'm not going to name anybody out because a lot of those are very private, but a lot of people have been saying, I'm feeling really, really, really suicidal because people have left me, or I'm just down. What do I do? I have so many videos on this. Please, please, please check them out. Create a safety plan. Have people that you can call. There are hotlines available. If you have a hotline in your area or in your country, you can leave it below so that people know and it's easy to access it. But reach out and get support. There are caring, loving people out there to help us. And it's okay to call, I promise. I know that Brent, who vlogs, Bracelets, he vlogged about how he called in, and they were really, really helpful, and they got him through the night, and it was great. So thanks for sharing that too, Brent. That was really helpful. Okay, and sorry, I try to talk fast because there's so many questions. The last question I'll go over today is, how do you know when you're ready for treatment? And then tips to kind of make it work. And to be honest, we're never ready, but we might be at our rock bottom where we think, could things get any worse? I can't deal with this anymore. And that's usually when I tell my clients, would you now consider? And they'll usually say yeah. Or say work gets involved, or family and friends get involved and they have like an intervention. Those a lot of times are periods of time when we'll almost feel like it can't get any worse. I'll go in, okay? And once we go in, tips to make it work is just try to participate. Groups are really helpful. The therapists are there all the time. I just do your best to participate. That's probably the number one. And if any of you have tips that you felt helped, leave them below and share and help one another, because I know it's a big step and it's hard, but oh my God, is it ever worth it? And you're worth it, and you can do it. So know that we are all rooting for you if you're deciding to go into treatment, and we'll be here when you get out. And we'll hopefully all the little things and tips and tricks we share are helpful. Okay, so I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for today. I will vlog again tomorrow, and I know some of you wanted a video about like my wedding update, so maybe I'll do a quick one of those this week. And sorry, I'm like still freshly showered. I was cleaning my house. I had a bunch of people staying with me, so I'm just trying to get things back in order. And I love you all. Have a great week, and I will talk to you soon.